In today's video, we will be taking a look at an interactive 538 model called Explore the Ways where Democrats and Republicans could win the midterms. This is an interactive model, which means that I could choose the winner for every single Senate race, and based on that, we can see the adjusted winner for the Senate and House for both parties. And yeah, so if you look at the current model right now, this is basically a 538 model. I have called a couple states that are safe for both parties on the original model. Democrats currently have a 68% chance of winning the Senate according to 538, and a 25% chance of winning the House. And the contrast is on the Republican Party. And currently who will control Congress? Republicans have a 31% chance in the original model. Democrats 24% chance. A split for Democrats Senate and Republican House at 44%, and Democrats House, Republican Senate at just 1%. So we're going to get right into today's model. Now let's basically, after we called the couple safe states, let's look at the individual races. Let's say hypothetically that the Democrats win the state of Arizona. By that characterization, Democrats have a 80% chance of victory. Okay, so let's see if the Republicans win Arizona, they have a 72% chance of victory. So you can see that for a single Senate race, that some of these impacts are very significant. If Republicans win a Senate race in the state of Colorado, they have a basically 8 in 10 chance at winning the Senate, which is quite interesting. So as you can see, some of these Senate races really matter a lot, especially if you go to a toss-up race, for example, in the state of Georgia. If Democrats win this race, Democrats have a 90% chance at winning the Senate, and Republicans at just 10%. While if Herschel Walker was to win this race, Republicans would be favored to win the Senate, according to 538. Now, let's just give both parties this races they 538 currently considers them to be favored in. So Ohio as well and Wisconsin, these are the races that both parties are seemingly favored to win. According to 538, interestingly enough, despite these races all being expected wins for both parties, Republicans would actually be at 53% and Democrats would be at 47%. Remember, these races I just characterized were all expected to go in either direction, in their respective directions. But now the Republicans are favored to win the Senate, although by a very slim margin. Well, from the beginning, Democrats had a 68% chance at winning the Senate. But we'll just remove those characterizations that we just made. So, North Carolina and yeah, so I think those are the, oh, I need to remove Wisconsin. Okay, so, yeah. And this is basically the model. If you want to play with it, just go in the description down below. That the map on this website will be linked in the description down below. And now let's go to the House website. So for the House, as you can see here, these are the current races. At least what these races stand as of right now, according to the model. Now I'm just gonna give both parties basically half of the seats, and I'm gonna say what will happen. So I'm gonna give the Democrats these seats, okay? So I'm gonna give them up to here, and the Republicans these seats. So I'm basically giving half of the seats to both parties. So I've given the Democrats. So this is basically if the Democrats were to win half of the seats, and Republicans were to win half of these really competitive toss-up seats. Interestingly enough here, the Democrats would have a 84% chance of winning the Senate, and Republicans would have a 93% chance of winning the House, despite me not really doing anything to the Senate. Basically, this model, it does project, basically, when I adjust the House races, they will also help me adjust the Senate races. And if I adjust the Senate, it will also adjust the House model. So although I gave Democrats and Republicans both half of the toss-up House seats, Republicans would be at 93% chance of victory. I guess this shouldn't be super surprising, as they were always favored, and by me basically giving both parties some seats, the Republicans would have less uncertainty, which will lead to them having a better chance of winning the House. Well, for the Senate, though I did not adjust anything, it basically, by the House indications, indicate about what the model would have expected for the Senate, and that is why Democrats' chance rate rose to 84%. Now I'm gonna just reset all of these races here. So I'm gonna just go to House races and see how large a single House race's influence can be. We've already done Senate, and I basically gave Warnock the state of Georgia. You can see that Democrats jumped from 68% to 91%, while for Walker, Republicans will be favored by a margin of about 10%, rather than Democrats favored by over 30%. So for the House, we're also going to do a similar thing. So for California's 22nd, this is a very competitive seat between Maria Salas and David Valadao, the Republican incumbent. If Salas wins, the Democrats will be at 39%. Definitely not favored, but that means they will have a 4 in 10 chance opposed to a 1 in 4 chance. Well, if Valadao wins the seat, Democrats will only have a 9% chance at victory in the House. And by my characterization of, for example, California 22nd, California 27th would also become lean D, as California's 22nd is it becomes called Democrat. And if Democrats win both of these races in California, they would actually be favored to win the House. But if Valadao wins, that means that Garcia is also likely to win, and if Garcia wins, the Democrats would have practically no chance at the Senate, which currently I do expect the Republicans to also be heavily favored in the Senate. So I'm gonna give, for example, if I give the Democrats the New Jersey 7th District, which are currently, they do have an incumbent but are favored to lose, the Democrats and Republicans will be tied for the House of Representatives, while if Democrats loses Maryland's 6th District, a seat FiveThirtyEight currently rates as leading Democrat, then Republicans also have a 94% chance at the House. So with all that being said, what can we basically extrapolate to our knowledge for this FiveThirtyEight website? For one thing, we know that individual races, individual competitive races, if called on election night, could mean a lot. For example, if Democrats were to win the state of Georgia, or Republicans were to win the state of Georgia, we will have a very good indicator of who would win basically the rest of the night, as at 7 p.m. poll closing, we would pretty much have a good indicator at around 8 or 9 p.m. how the votes are, which candidate is currently favored, and that would really help us forecast the rest of the night. Similarly, in House races, they have like 750,000 people per district, so it's gonna be pretty early for some of these races to come in. For example, in the first few poll closings in the 13th district in North Carolina, a open seat here. If Democrats were to win this seat, or if Republicans were to win the seat, we will also have pretty good indicators for the midterm elections. Anyways, thanks for watching today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Most of my videos are more predictionary, but this one is just for fun. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.